Hello, it is Tall Bill again. I would like to speak upon something that I am very passionate about, and that is, in my opinion, the worst way that women are oppressed in society where I live, at least in America. And, this is a pretty serious issue in my opinion. I know a lot of people aren't feminists and they have things against it. I used to be like, feminism is stupid, we don't need it in America, but there is one thing that I think is pretty bad, so I will get into it. I am reading something that I wrote, by the way. This is from my life experiences, and okay, so it starts. Modern day sexism in the United States. So I live in the United States, Michigan to be specific. I have always felt that in this country, men and women have equal opportunities, that sexism was a thing of the very recent past. It had always seemed that there was no doubt I could do anything a man could in life, besides pee my name in the snow, or something along those lines, you know. Yet, as I grew up, I have come to see that sexism lingers in a most horrid and life-crippling way. It appears that true independence has been yanked from women. You would think that any adult should be able to go places by themselves, need not a chaperone or a babysitter like some incapable and helpless child would need. For we women are incessantly being told we cannot go on a walk alone, live alone, or travel alone, else we get kidnapped. Are we not people? Can we not have the freedom to experience life solitarily here and there? Must I be constantly binded to the protection of another as if I were not whole and capable on my own? Let alone the thought of a vagabond, wandering woman, for that seems completely out of a female's reach in most people's minds. Yet that is my very dream, you see. I love to go on walks alone. Everything holds such deep meaning when unaccompanied. Inner dialogue is spewing out great meaning onto everything. A lake, for instance, could represent the emptiness of your entire life. All such meaningful interpretation melts away in another's company. So alone I often go. Yet old men approach me. "Are you okay?" they ask. "You look distressed," they say. "You should not be alone." I think it's really weird when they say that. Anyways, "Leave me alone, you fat old coward. Stop trying to drill your anxiety into me. I'm just trying to sit here and look at this rock, you ugly bitch." Oh, this happens all too often. So, I've never said that to anyone. I've never been like, "You ugly fucking bitch, get away." It's just what I think. Pretty much when that happens to me, I just kind of walk away. But I think it's super disrespectful to come up to someone and say that they should not be alone, because then I can't leave my house unless someone is available to go with me? What the hell? Yeah, so from my parents, teachers, some other girls, everyone keeps on telling me that I'm going to get raped and kidnapped. You know how deranged it is to hear that almost every day of my life? Like, as a child, I was in constant fear of the dark. It was a very irrational fear. I had to sleep with a nightlight on. I was always imagining decrepit zombies crawling across my floor, coming to snatch my little foot. Now, being over that silly fear, I'm expected to view the world in the same anxiety-filled manner that I saw my room at night in childhood. You know, you get over a fear, and then people try to give you a new one. I am only a human, not a jeweled rare treasure, always in need of a guard. It is my greatest wish to live in my car and travel the two best continents this planet will ever know, North and South America, though everyone is always stomping all over my dream. They try to make me fear everything. For instance, my grandpa, I said, "Oh, I'm going to come visit you in Florida, I'll drive there." He said, "Don't go alone, take a friend with you or something." I mean, there's women who live in their cars, but anyways, I'll get to that. I'm not so bound to this raping and kidnapping plot, you see. I've actually read stories, many stories of women who sailed around the world, lived in a van, or walked some vast distance all alone. Contrary to popular belief, they were okay. Wow. They were actually functional people who could protect themselves. Oh. In fact, in many of these stories, the women were saying how everyone had led them to believe that the world was evil and out to get them. But really, that wasn't the case at all. Though I have had countless people screaming at me for my apparent stupidity on this subject, even though they have read no books about people traveling alone or done any research. Humans have this lovely quality of pulling opinions out of their ass and deeming it fact, and thereafter pushing it onto everyone else. So thus is the bane of a woman. You will get more people harassing you about being harassed than actual men harassing you. At least in my life, that is the case. I just wish I could be recognized as a human and not a delicate flower, always in need. Anyways. It's demeaning, it's very demeaning, to always be told a sum of phrases which basically amount to, "I cannot be independent," because I would really hope that I can, you know? How can a man have the immense freedom to travel the entire realm of the world, and a woman told she can't go on a mere walk? Sexism, my friends. Okay, so basically, yeah, it's just men can go on walks alone and not be questioned. And like let's say that a man wanted to hike the PCT. The PCT is a trail that starts in the bottom of California and it goes all the way up to Washington. So I think it's like 2,000, 3,000 miles long or something like that. Just all along the west coast of America. So let's say a man wanted to do that alone. No one would be concerned for him really. I mean, maybe a bit for sure, but not like actively praying for him every night so that he'd be okay, you know? But if a woman wanted to do that, her parents would be praying for her every night and everyone she encountered, basically. Everyone would be like, "You're gonna get kidnapped, you stupid bitch." So, I just think that's super unfair, and a lot of people think that that is valid, that women should not be alone and walk alone. However, I believe it's not because I have walked alone so much in my life. I am 19. I walk alone all the time, like 6-10 miles a day, most of the time by myself, because I just like it. It's fun. And nothing bad has happened to me. And then I've also walked across Michigan. I actually kind of did that illegally. I did it on the railroads with my other friend who's also a little cutie like me. So we were fine, you know, we didn't really run into any bad situations, and some people would call that luck, but I would just call that what happens. So, yeah, I think people, even men, have this weird fear of the world. You know, for instance, like, people used to hitchhike all the time. Say in the 60s, it was very common to hitchhike across America, you know, get rides from random people. But now it's like you would never do that because it's all, you're gonna pick up a murderer if you pick up a hitchhiker, or someone's gonna murder you if you try to be a hitchhiker. And it's just, people have this really weird anxiety about the world, you know, about being killed by a serial killer. And the world is not like that, because if you talk to anyone who has sailed across the world alone, or lived in a van, or hiked across some great distance like 1,000 miles or something like that, or biked across the country, another thing, they will tell you that the world is not out to get you. Most people, I get some are bad, but most people are very nice. They will try to help you. So, this is a thing that mostly affects women, but I think it goes even deeper than that, and that people just have too much anxiety. I would like to say that I looked this up, you can look it up too. Only 1% of all murders are from a serial killer. And I don't know what's the likelihood of you being murdered anyway. I know the most likely way you're gonna be murdered is in a mass shooting, such as a school shooting, or, you know, like a public shooting, something like that. So, okay, I'll look it up right now. What's the chance of getting murdered? Okay, it's not telling me right away. I have to look at some. Oh, this is Cora. Fuck. How likely is it to be murdered? Oh. Oh shit. Okay, so 1% of all deaths in the US are of being murdered, but then only 1% of that 1% is from a serial killer. This is very interesting. Anyways, I guess I hope you learned something from that. I hope any women who've seen this, which no one watches my videos, but any women who have seen this are inspired to go out on a walk or something, or maybe hike some great distance, you know, across a state or across the country, because on my hike across a state, I met a lot of women who were like, oh, I wish I could do this, but I feel like I can't do this without a man or something, I'll get kidnapped. And I just want women to have that option. And everyone to have that option. There are men who are too afraid to do that as well. And I just want to say that the world is a safe place. Somewhat. Okay. It has been Tall Bill.